Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody, and welcome to Maximizing Your Potential Talk Show. How's everybody doing today? I'm your host, Gertrude J. Chapman, and I just like to welcome you to the Friday's broadcast of Maximizing Your Potential. And I excuse you for my voice this morning, but I've been working on this project that's launching next month and I've just been so busy, so wrapped up in it, using my voice, both on live streams and also with recording. So my voice is kind of hoarse, but nevertheless, we're gonna get it done, and it's gonna be something that truly impacts your life, because what is going to be presented to you in that course is about building your self-confidence and self-esteem. And ladies, this is something that you need, okay? This is something that you need. If you're feeling some type of way about yourself, if you continue feeling that you're missing something in life, that there's a void in life, that you find yourself going around and around on the merry-go-round and never getting off, if you feel like there's something more for you, and but you just can't seem to get your hands on it, and it's going to be um, a self-paced course where you could take it at your own leisure. It's 12 units, and it's very simple and self-explanatory, but the course breaks it all down, and it gets to the root causes why a person feels a certain way, why they're not able to achieve certain things in their lives. And like I said, always get to the root cause. Never, worry about the surface stuff, because with surface things, it'll come back. It will lay dormant for a while and it will come back. But I know where many of you are right now. You're tired of the same old, and you have decided that you want to change, that there has to be a significant change in your life. Because, like I said, you have done the same things over and over, and you're producing the same results. But you would like to produce greater results. You would like to produce results that will help you achieve your ultimate goal. And so we're going to get to the root cause of it. And like I said, it's 12 units, and it's at your own pace. And this is something that will be launching next month. And if you would like to know more about this, follow the link below that's flashing at the bottom of the screen. Linktree /keys to wealth building. Again, that's Linktree /keys to wealth building. And I'm going to tell you, it's something that, that's going to blow your mind, that's going to set you on your right course, on your design pathway. And I'm excited about it. We got commercials that's going to take place um, next week, as a matter of fact. And I have to get my voice ready for that, the commercials. But, this is what it is, y'all. This is what it is. Um, to press through certain things. And this is life. This is life. But I know that this is something that will impact your life. And not only your life, but those around you and for generations to come. Because self-esteem is very important. Self-confidence is important in itself, y'all. And today we're going to be talking about leading self-esteem issues. And does self-esteem matter? And I want to say, yes, it does. Yes, it does. And these are some of the things that I'm going to, give you something to think about today, and find out where you are. Because each of these broadcasts, I think this week and maybe last week, is leading up to this course. And it's going to find you right where you are, where you could say, well, I need to do something about that. I'm not really, you know, happy about where I am. This has been going on for a while and it's leading me nowhere. You ever get sick and tired of the same old, and you're giving your all? How many of you say, well, Gertrude, I'm giving my all, and yet I have not seen a change, and yet I seem to be stuck, and yet I seem to be walking 2 steps forward, but with every 2 steps forward, I'm falling 3 steps behind. Has have you ever thought about that? You know, and maybe you're just bewildered, not knowing what to do. Maybe you're confused, not even knowing that it's connected to your self-esteem and your self-confidence levels. So these broadcasts that I've been doing is giving you something to think about where you could find yourself. And I'm telling you, it's nothing to be ashamed of, okay? It's nothing to be ashamed of. Because one time I was where you are. I was there. I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't like my name. I didn't like the tone of my voice. I didn't like my hair, the texture of my hair, the color of my skin, even my name. I didn't like anything about myself. I didn't know anything about any of this. But once I came into the knowledge of myself, who I am, things change. And there are other factors there that will help build your self esteem and your self confidence, where you could be unapologetically you. Just be you. But I know that's easily said than done. That's easily said than done. I had a conversation with a young lady maybe several days ago, or maybe it's been a week now. And I was talking to her about certain things that she was allowing to happen in her life. And I said, you're better than that. You're better than that. You can't accept what's happening to you because you have value and you have worth. And you have to teach people how to treat you. And, got into the content. I'm not, getting into that because it's a long story. But she thanked me for that later. And ladies, I want to tell you, if you're struggling, if you're scratching and surviving, I use that term right there because I want to paint a picture in your mind about where you are to find yourself. Good morning, Lucky. How you doing today? It's great seeing you today. I want you to find yourself there and say, I'm better than that. I am better than that. I don't need to be here. Help is on the way. But you have to decide whether or not, and come to that decision, you want to move on in life or you want to remain the same. And I'm going to dive into the message today because, like I said, my throat, I'm kind of hoarse today. And even though yesterday I didn't do too much, with my voice, I wasn't in the studio yesterday, but I was in conversation yesterday. And, you know, I'm still hoarse this morning. So I know I have to rest my voice. So I'm not going to talk so much today. I'm going to dive into the message today, talking about leading self esteem issues. Okay. And does self esteem matter? Does it matter? Let me ask you these questions. What makes you think the way that you do? What makes you think the way that you do? Here's the second question. What causes you to see yourself on a small scale? What causes you to see yourself on a small scale? And number three, why do you always see the genius in others, but not in yourself? Why do you always see the genius in others and never in yourself? And this is something to think about. This is something to think about. We want to move you from that place into a place where you could truly appreciate yourself and be you. Be unapologetically you. So if those answers has stumped you in any type of way, contact me. Linktree/keys to wealth building. And let's see how we could work together. Even though this is a class where you'll take it on your own pace, it's recorded, but everything there, is very easy to navigate through. Like I said, it's 12 units, but it's a way to build this relationship. I love to build relationships with people that I work with my clients, because I see you as real people. You're not numbers to me. You are a real person that has real feelings, that want to do better and want to see yourself in a different way, in a different light. And what I mean by that, in a positive way. And I want to tell you, I believe in you. I know you can do it. I know you could do it. And all this is leading up to you maximizing your potential, because there's so much value in you. You have all these treasures and all these gems, and still you're struggling or you're feeling not worthy. So, the first talking point I want to talk about, leading self esteem issues, are based on who am I? There's people that's out there asking, and maybe you, who am I? Why should people care? What do I have a voice, to motivate somebody? Do I have a voice to, change somebody's beliefs from negative to positive? Do I have a voice? Do I matter? Do I matter? And it's also based on, form. All of this is based on forming an image of yourself. Okay, forming an image of yourself. These leading self-esteem issues are based on forming an image of yourself. So that's why, who am I? And then you look at your relationships. Who are you connected to? Who's in your life? People are either in your life to add to or take away from. So look at your relationships. Then again, how about the experiences that you had? All of these things form your image of yourself, who you are, your relationships, and the experiences that you had. Closely related. So if there's a breakdown in your self esteem and your self confidence, you have to go back to those, you know, three things and find out, you know, where the breakdown is and do something about it. You know, do something about it. Leading self esteem issues, or let's move to the next talking point. A negative self image stems from unhealthy relationships. You know, those negative relationships, those relationships that where people are, you know, they're dreamers, but they're not doing it. You know, they're not starters. Because I talked about what? Dreamers, starters, doers, and finishers on yesterday. I broke that down. The people that you're surrounded, you know, with, those who surround you, your let me break it even further down. Your inner circle. Who are those people in your inner circle? Because they will have a dramatic effect upon your life. You got to think about that. And I think yesterday I was talking about um it's time for you to make a decision in those areas. Okay? There's some things that need to change in your life. If you want to, you know, maximize your potential, you have to change some things in your life. And that means people, places, and things. And I'm just being blunt about it. If you expect change, if you expect to move forward to maximize your potential, you know, and if you're serious about it, you're going to make some changes. You know, there's some things that you could change in your life to, you know, come out of the rat race. You know, it's time to stop, you know, going around in circles. It's time to stop going around in circles. So, leading self esteem issues, negative self image stems from unhealthy relationships. Also, self defeating thoughts. What are your thoughts? What are those thoughts that you allow to run through your mind without checking them? Okay? Without checking them to see if it's something that you should be thinking about. And then you take that negative thought and you meditate on that thought. And once you meditate on something, now you get an image of it. So now you imagining it. Now it's going further than imagination because now it has taken root in your heart. So now you're thinking those things even more. You're speaking them out. You're acting on them. And they're not serving your purpose. Okay? They're not serving your purpose. This is so ironic. Yes. Today's show will be about people projecting negative self-image onto you. Yeah. You know? And it's true, Lucky. It's so true. You know? And we see this. This is a major concern. So you have a show talking about that, and I'm talking about that right now. It's a major concern. Because just like I told you when I did the research for this, 79% of women have a general form of self-esteem and self-confidence issues. So it's very common. But are you going to allow it to just run through your life? It's somewhere where you have to, take responsibility and say, hey, something's got to be done about this. Something I need to do is, something needs to change. I need to do better. And here's even one better than this: insecurities. Why are you insecure? And, as I'm on these internet streets, as I'm going, from one platform to another, I see a lot. And I know you see a lot too. People show up, and it's not talking down on anybody, but hey, if you have an audience and you're trying to get them to believe in your products, your services, first you have to project to them that you are confident in what you're doing. And it has nothing about the loudness in the voice. That has nothing to do with it. It's all about how are you showing up. And if you're not showing up powerfully, how do you think that's going to come over to your clients, to your customers? It's not. It's not. And it has nothing to do with the likes and the dislikes, because I'm going to get to that, okay? Because some of you base things, you base your self-confidence and self-esteem on these numbers. And that's not about it. That's not it at all. Because there are people that you don't even know that watching you, and they're watching you over this internet. They may not even get in the chats. You might not even see them. They're on the replays, or they're following your page and different things of that nature. They're sending you DMs. They're communicating with you through your website, or through your what I'm trying to say, emails and different things of that nature. But how are you showing up? This all goes back to self-confidence and self-esteem. So if you're showing up and you don't have confidence about yourself and you don't believe in yourself, guess what? Negative self-image stems from, like I said, insecurities, self-defeating thoughts, unhealthy relationships. And you have to make a decision. And the best time to make a decision is now. Don't put it off. You've been putting it off for so long, too long. But, that's up to you. You decide. You decide. But somewhere down the line, you have to say, playtime is over. Playtime is over. You need to be about your money, okay? Maximize your potential. That's why my link says Linktree/keys to wealth building. And if you can't see the value inside of you, if you can't see the wealth inside of you, there's something wrong. And you need to address it. You need to address it, because you're missing out. You're missing out on a lot. The next talking point is, when I'm talking about leading self-esteem issues, social media is a big contributor. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. There's negative things on social media, just like there's positive things on social media. Let me go to the comments right quick. I hope you have a great day. Okay, thank you for the reinforcement. I have to get ready for my show. Okay, well, thank you for dropping in, Lucky. And I hope you have a great weekend. Okay, so I see you next week. But social media is a contributor, because social media presents a false persona. Okay, and not everybody, but people. Be you. Be you. Stop trying to compare yourself to somebody else, what they seem to be doing, or who they seem to be, or what they seem to have. And now you're feeling some type of way about yourself because you're doing all these things and these things are not working for you. And this is a big part that has you in this place where you're down on yourself. And do you see how that can affect your self-esteem and self-confidence levels? Because you're comparing yourself to somebody on the screen or somebody's page, and they're saying all this, they're doing all this, but truly, are they living that? Are they living that? And really, you shouldn't even worry about that. The only person that you need to be concerned about is yourself. Be concerned about yourself. And stop trying to pattern your life behind somebody else. You're running your own race on your own time clock. Be you. And be the best you that you could be. Tomorrow, improve on the day before. Be as powerful as you can be. And that only comes with your self-confidence. Being, you're working on your self-confidence. It being at a high level. Your self-esteem being at a high level. And there's some other things, in this that contribute to that. But don't allow use yourself seeing things on social media and you're getting discouraged, you're getting disappointed, you're going into depression, you're wondering why it's happening for them and it's not happening for you. Just be you. You do the best that you can with what you have. Invest in yourself. And when I mean invest in yourself, time and money. Invest your time to hire that coach, take that course, get in somebody's webinar, seminar, whatever it may be, instead of just looking for things free. Because the things that's going to move you into higher heights and deeper depths, it's not going to come free. It's not going to come free. Now, you, on the other hand, when you have something, I want you to think about this. When you have something, you want people to buy your products, your services, your books, your classes, whatever it may be. Enroll, purchase a ticket to your conference. But yet, when it comes to you doing those things, you withhold. You shy back. What's wrong with that picture? You expect people to do something for you, but you won't do anything to contribute to their products and services. And you can't see that there's something wrong there. That's a self-esteem, self-confidence issue. I'm just saying. You can't see your value, that you need to increase your value by increasing, expanding your mindset. You can't remain at the same level in the same place day in, day out, year in, year out. You cannot do that. You have to constantly evolve. Constantly. You should be learning something new every day. Purchase good material that's going to advance you. Don't ever compare yourself to anybody else on social media. When I'm talking about social media is a contributor, there's a lot of negativity. And that tears you down, okay? If you allow it to, it will tear you down. You may think it's funny. You may think some of these reels and some of these videos are funny, but they're having an adverse effect on your self-esteem and self-confidence. Of course, you're not going to recognize it, you know, as it's coming in. And I mean through your ear gates and your eye gates. You're not going to recognize it. But inside of you, it's affecting you. It's affecting you. Yesterday, I was talking to somebody, and it was something that was going on. And I said, there's only a certain level of stupidity that I can handle. After that, I done checked out. Okay? I don't even want it around me. I don't even want it around me. Because when something just don't make any sense and people are just doing this, just to have something to say or have something to do, they may be talking, but I done checked out. I done shut them down. Because I'm not going to allow that to come inside of me to affect what's going on the inside of me. When I'm constantly pouring out to my audience on a daily basis. But even better than that, I'm protecting myself because I don't want that inside of me. I'm not a garbage disposal, just like you're not a garbage disposal. People think they could come and just dump stuff inside of you. And now you have taken what you have heard, what you have seen over social media, and now it's affecting you. It's with your thoughts and your beliefs. It has triggered something in you where it's latching on to whatever's going wrong in your life. Now you're accepting these things as truths. You're meditating on them. You may be laughing now, but it has an effect on you. So you got to watch out what you allow to come inside of you and how you view things. Everything you see is not real. Okay? Everything you see is not real. If it's not adding to you, it's taken away. I want you to think about that. Social media is a contributor. How about this one? Trying to fit in to gain attention. Trying to fit in to gain attention. And you see it so many times. And ladies, I'm just going to break it down to you. I'm going to break it down. You see it. You see people women dressed in provocative clothing. But yet, they're talking about business. Who's listening to business when you dress that way? Do you think people are going to take you seriously? Do you think that they're going to really, trusting you as being the expert in that, whatever you project. Now, they will think that you're an expert in something else, but not that. That's a self-esteem, self-confidence issue. And that's only going to last so long. Only going to last so long. I was talking to somebody, because I'm always talking to people, y'all. And I said, will you accept that? You have to have more, see yourself having value and having worth, instead of allowing a person to treat you such and such a way. You're better than that. No, you shouldn't accept that. Being somebody's afterthought. Like they could just take you and just throw you here and throw you there and do you this and do you that and say this to you and say that to you. And you're going to accept that? No. No, no, no. You are somebody. You have value. You have worth. And this is all about building your self-confidence and your self-esteem. It's all connected, y'all. It's all connected. Ladies, it's connected. Okay? It's connected. You have a video up there. You know, you have all your information up there. Where you have this business, you in business. You done spent all this time getting everything together. And you're dressing like a porn star. Come on now. Let's be real about it. And, 79% of women, that's what the research said, wealthy in net worth, have a general form of low self-esteem and self-confidence issues. And you can see it. It's all over the internet. It's all over the internet. You could dress sexy and be business. Yes, you can. But some things, it needs to be kept off camera. Leading self-esteem issues are why correct self-esteem issues? Why correct them? Well, number one, to impact your decision making. To impact your decision making. Because if you have issues with your self-esteem and self-confidence, you're going to hold back. You're going to drag your feet. You're not going to come to a decision because you're not seeing it as something that needs to be corrected, or, it's not important, or I'll get to it when I get to it. You'll have some type of attitude. But when you're serious about something, when your self-esteem and self-confidence is working, you can move into that decision. You can move into that decision because it's a valid decision. You'll see it as a valid decision. You'll see yourself making that valid decision. But if you're feeling some type of way about yourself, you're unsure about yourself, you'll be unsure about everything. That's where I'm going there. When you're unsure about yourself, you'll be unsure about everything you do, about everything you say, the way you live, the way you talk, the way you present yourself. That's why you have to correct self-esteem and self-confidence issues, because it will hold you back. It will cause you to hesitate. It will delay you. It will stop you from moving forward to reach your ultimate goal. And of course, you won't maximize your potential because you won't make that decision to do something about it. And some of you, you know you have those issues. And you know you have issues with your self-confidence and self-esteem. And if you would come to that decision that allows for no turning back, saying, well, Gertrude, I need help, there's a link at the bottom of the screen. Linktree/keys to wealth building. A course, building self-esteem and self-confidence, 12 units at your own pace. At your own pace. Easy to follow directions. A lot of wisdom, a lot of time, a lot of thought went into this. Not talking about the surface stuff, talking about getting to the root, plucking up that root. So you have no problem. If you're serious about it, it'll work for you. You have to work it or it won't work. You'll have no problem maximizing your potential. You'll have no problem. None whatsoever. So that's why you have to correct self-esteem issues so you can make those decisions. And even for your emotional health. For your emotional health. When a person suffers from self-esteem and self-confidence, their emotions are all over the place. Even depressed. And like I say, I get around. I talk to a lot of people. I know people who are depressed. Lay in the bed all day. It's not that they're sick or can't get up out of the bed, but they'll get up. They'll lay in the bed all day. Women. Watch TV. When it's beautiful, sunshiny day, on a beautiful, sunshiny day. And it's not just one day they'll lay, all week, y'all, all week. You have to make a decision because emotional health is very important. But it all goes back to the self-esteem and self-confidence. Ladies, you have to see that there's more to you than, watching TV all day or being in bed all day. Day in and day out. Day in and day out. Not, communicating with your neighbors, your friends or anything of that nature. Just existing, wasting your life away because we only have one life to live. And life is just a vapor. You're here today, gone tomorrow. Or even yet, here today, gone today. Okay? You're better than that. You're much better than that. So don't do that to yourself. Because you have so much inside of you, those treasures, those gems, and you are worth it. And I want you to see your worth. Because once you get a glimpse of who you are and how much value you have, that's going to energize you. And it's going to cause you to want to produce, want to share, want to, get out there and smell the roses. Get out among people and be known. And not in an arrogant way. Because I'm going to tell you, you are worth being known. Somebody needs to know about you. Somebody needs to see, have that conversation with you. to see, you know, what's inside of you. Because you have solutions to other people's problems, but they'll never know it if you don't make yourself available to them. So, why correct those self esteem issues? It provides that motivation. Because, like I said, once you realize and come into that understanding and see, get a glimpse of who you are and what you have, you will be motivated. It'll take your life to another level. And I want to say, with leaps and bounds, leaps and bounds. It'll bring you from not doing anything to want to be involved in everything that pertains to you according to your purpose. I'm going to put that in there. According to your purpose. I want you to go back and watch the live stream from yesterday when I talked about, doing things that's not according to your purpose. I gave some tips on there, what you need to do with those things. So let that be something that, you could take a look at this weekend. And that will help you, come into a place where you're free to make some decisions, okay? That will further advance you from where you are to where you need to be. So leading self-esteem issues are, they need to be changed. Does self-esteem matter? Yes, it does, okay? Overcoming a poor self-image. Be grounded in your purpose. That's number one. To overcome a poor self-image. And I told you, a poor self-image comes from, who you are, your relationships, and your experiences, or self-image, put it that way. And when you have a poor self-image, that stems from that too. You don't know who you are. You have them negative relationships and those negative experiences where you're taking situations and circumstances and you're attaching it to you, and you think you're seeing that as your value and your worth, where it was only something that you went through, and it's not you. Okay, it's not you, but somewhere you have taken that into yourself and you're identifying with that, and that's giving you a poor self-image, and that's not you at all. So to overcome a poor self-image, one of the things to do is be grounded in your purpose and stop just floating out there, and whatever will be, will be. And latching on to somebody else's idea, what they think that you should do, or where they think you should go, or you trying to please somebody, or you trying to fulfill somebody else's vision for you, or you trying to fit in. Think about that. Also, love yourself. You have to love yourself. You have to be taught to love yourself. And that's all in this course. Building your self-esteem, building your self-confidence. Again, the link is at the bottom of the screen. Linktree/keys to wealth building. And that will open up into a Zoom meeting with me to see whether you're ready or not to be able to take that course. Like I said, it's 12 units at your own pace, y'all. At your own pace. So, how hard is that? Where you don't have to, meet at a certain day, on a certain day at a certain time. But whenever it's convenient for you. It can't get any easier than that. And the next thing is believe in you. You have to believe in you. You have to believe in yourself before you expect somebody else to believe in you. So overcome that poor self-image that you have of yourself, ladies. And you don't have to do all that you see somebody else doing. You don't have to dress the way that you see other ladies dressing just to bring attention. And they bring in the wrong attention. They bring in the attention. Actually, they diverting the attention away from their products and services onto their physical body. I want you to think about that. You work much more than that. There's so much value in you. There's so much worth in you. You don't need to do that. You need to be focused on you, building your self-confidence and your self-worth so you can maximize your potential. Because once you get a glimpse of who you really are and your purpose, it's a win-win. It's a win-win situation. So I hope that what I have shared with you, these nuggets today, talking about leading self-esteem issues, some of those issues I brought out, and does self-esteem matter? I hope that, what you have heard has helped you to find yourself wherever you are on that scale. And to say, well, Gertrude, I'm giving up. I need help. Okay. I'm just going to say, I just need help. Well, get that information at the bottom of the screen and let's have a Zoom meeting so we could see if this is a good fit for you. Linktree/keys to wealth building. I talked about how it's based on self-esteem, how it's based on your image of yourself. And that comes from who you are, your relationships, and your experiences. I talked about where a negative self-image comes from, unhealthy relationships, self-defeating thoughts, insecurities. I talked about how social media is a major contributor because people are looking at social media and they following behind a false persona because people are not living this way, but they're saying they're living this way. They're saying they're doing this. They're dressing in the part. Okay, they're speaking in the part, but actually they're not living the part. And you're feeling some type of way because you're listening to what they're saying. You're looking at what they're doing, and it's not adding up for you. But be you. Be you. Don't worry about them. Don't stop copying behind somebody else and be yourself. Be yourself and be unapologetic about who you are. You just be the best version of yourself. Also, why correct self-image? Why would you correct a self-esteem issue? Put it that way. Number one, for your emotional health. So you're not always on the roller coaster. So you could get up out of bed. So you could stop watching TV all day. So you could come out of that depressed mode and get out. Get out among people. Even if you have to get out and go sit on your patio or go take a ride somewhere, go sit in the park, go have a cup of coffee. But you have to overcome this. You have to be determined that I'm not going to live this way anymore. And finally, overcoming the poor self-image, knowing your purpose, loving yourself, and believing in you. Overcome it, y'all. Overcome it. Because there's so much more than you can imagine. There's a lot that's inside of you that you have yet to tap into. So I hope that, you're going to have a fantastic weekend. And I hope you could take some time out to do that self evaluation and go back and look at yesterday's broadcast where I talked about some things, you know, and it's all leading up to this course, building your self confidence and self esteem. Yesterday, I talked about keys to guarding your peace. Keys to guarding your peace. And I broke it down, y'all. I broke it down. And the day before that, I talked about access to activate your direction. So, all of these, like I say, broadcasts are leading up to this course that's going to launch next weekend. So, thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with me today on this segment of Maximizing Your Potential. Again, I'm your host, Gertrude J. Chapman, and I look forward to seeing you on Monday. But remember this is your time, this is your season, this is your turning point. So have a great rest of your day.